Sorry about that, folks. We were talking this whole time and we forgot to click on mute. So that Karn Great Creator is going to eat a Archmage's Charm pretty easily. So we have Brandon Seagraves over here on the mono black control that Aspiring Spike was playing recently on Leagues, which basically is kind of like a pseudo control deck that can win by playing large creatures with the Cabal Coffers. Andrew Horde over here in the yellow is on Esper control, which is most likely seeking to win. There's that Invoke Despair from Kamigawa, which is a pretty crazy card that's been seeing play in this mono black list. But that's going to go ahead and eat a Force Negation. And the text on that Invoke Despair basically says your opponent sacrifices one of each everything, and then they lose, is it 3 life?
2 life.
2 life. There's a thing in the ice. I wasn't expecting that, honestly. That's a neat card. Haven't seen that since the Phoenix builds. Ate the dust because of the looting ban. But there's another Cabal Coffers.
It looks like Brandon has 2 Profane Tutors in hand.
Yeah, I think he's probably... Oh, is that Bound in Blood? Is that target opponent sacrifices... What is that? Hold on. I gotta look this up. It's been a little while since I've seen that card. Bound in Blood.
Alright, and Brandon suspends 2 Profane Tutors. And Andrew Horde here still holding up that Path to Exile.
So yeah, he's got those 2 coffers online. If he can produce a decent bit of mana right now, so 8 total, I think, if I'm reading that right.
He casts another Invoke Despair.
Yeah, maybe that's not actually. What is that? I don't know what that other card was. I think it says sacrifice. Target opponent sacrifices 2 creatures. That makes sense to me. So he's gonna go ahead and cast that Invoke Despair. He's gonna go ahead and do some damage to Andrew here. And it looks like he has a Fatal Push and an Inquisition in hand. He's gonna cast that Inquisition though, which leaves his hand open to a Path and a Teferi Time Reveler. Top decks the land, it passes. He only has a Path in his hand, and those Profane Tutors are going to find some really significant things. Most likely he might get, yeah, he's going for a Thoughtseize, and I think he's counting out to see if he can cast a Grizzlebrand this turn. Which, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, currently he put up Ugin the Spirit Dragon.
Oh yeah, he put that Ugin to the front, so there's an Arcana Cruelty as well. This deck is kind of neat because it can pretty much just cast large things by only playing swamps in Cabal.
So he can currently make 11 mana. And he still has his draw for turn.
He can cast whatever he wants. Top decks that Inquisition, so that should clean up that Path if he needs to get that off the battlefield, out of his hand, so that he can just feel free to do whatever he wants. But he might actually just cast
so he makes 10 mana currently. He's going to cast the Ugin.
Yeah.
Well, he'll use 1 for the Inquisition. Get rid of that Path to Exile in his hand. He has 9 floating mana left. We're going to see, Ugin the Spirit Dragon. This one is going to, uptake, bolt him.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure Andrew has any way to deal with this right now. He can't Prismatic Ending. He can't, I don't think he has a way to bounce.
He just scryed 2 lands with Castle of Vantress there.
And he top decks a Path.
Path to Exile not working much against Ugin the Spirit Dragon here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he doesn't even need to do anything. He can just keep upticking Ugin.
Just drew a Supreme Verdict.
He doesn't even need to cast anything. He just continually pressure him with Ugin, and he can ult next turn. Who thought he's going to see what his hand is, and it's pretty much GG at this point. Yeah, he's going to make a lot of mana and cast that Karn. And I don't see how Andrew can get out of this one from this point. What does he get, though? Oh, he's going to go for the Bolus Citadel. That's cute. Still got... still has... one floating? Yeah. He's going to go ahead and cast that Bolus Citadel. So much value. And no, chat, that is not farts. That is someone opening a box. It sounds so much like it, though.
Brandon Seagraves with a very commanding lead here. I don't see how he can actually lose this. Cast that Liliana of the Veil off of Bolus Citadel. And towards Scries 2, he decides to keep one on top. Or both on top.
Interesting. What did he pick?
Now, knowing Brandon Seagraves, I believe he's going to ult Ugin here.
I mean, is that a Kai's Guile? Oh, he's going to try to gain 4 life, most likely, and make a creature, but I mean, he's
Well, you know, he bolts him down to 1.
Sounds like he's going to try to win this game right off the bat, so my guess is he's going to get a Walking Ballista to just finish this now. Or he doesn't even have one in the deck here. So I wonder if
Whirlpool Engine, Wishclaw Talisman.
He's trying to figure out what he wants to do exactly. Looks like he's going to get that Wishclaw. Not sure what he can get with it. So he's going to go ahead and entwine that Kai's Guile. All the modes are active. So it's going to be the target opponent sacrifices a creature, he makes a 1/1, he gains 4, and exile a graveyard. I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's right. It's not really going to do it, though, especially against this board. I mean, you got Ugin, Karn the Great Creator, Liliana, and a Bolus Citadel. Seems pretty gross. He's going to go ahead and fetch up an Herborg, which will make all of his land swamps. Jeez, he can produce 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 22 mana, I think I'm counting. He can make. Jeez. He's going to go ahead and just get something out of his deck now, most likely to try to end the game. What can he get, though? Maybe a Grizzlebrand? I don't know if that does it, though. Yeah. Or no, an Archon could do it. So if he pluses Ugin and then just Archons, it should be game. He's got plenty of mana to do it, too. Oh, he's going to get a Castle?
Castle Vantress, that's interesting. And he actually doesn't have to show the card that he gets.
Wait.
Wishclaw.
Brandon consulting with us what he was doing because I think he forgot mid-search.
Alright, gets an Archon of Cruelty, which will bring Andrew Horde down to 2 life.
Archon comes down and he gets hit for 3. And he sacrifices that 1/1.
And Brandon does get to draw a card of this.
Another map. Oh, another Invoke Despair. That's game. Yeah, this mono black deck is really neat. I'm glad to see like older archetypes like this just come back. especially with a card that nobody was really expecting to do anything, really.
Yeah, I wasn't too impressed with all the invokes on this new Kamigawa set.
Yeah, I mean, some people were speculating on that Invoke Despair, but with how much mana it costs, and it's all black except for the one. It's hard to cast except if you're mono black, and here we are with mono black. Looks like Andrew's gonna probably bring in some Dovin's Vetoes. Hopefully, he turns around some of his cards.
Looks like he took out a Fatal Push there.
It's Invoke Despair we were talking about from Kamigawa. Pretty much it's like a smallpox on steroids. It costs 5 though. 4 black and 1. It's a really steep cost for everyone that isn't mono black though.
Honestly, I thought these Invoke cards would probably only see play in Commander. But then again, Aspire, you spike on Twitch there, known for his brews. Made this deck and it actually looks very fun to play.
Yeah, it seems to have a hard time with like combo decks because it only runs the hand disruption, but it has no backup for anything that's just like trying to kill them super dead, super quick.
Now, I'm not too familiar with the deck, but I'm hoping with a deck that makes so much mana as that would at least play some of the Titans in the deck.
I don't think it needs to, though. I mean, it's playing Grizzlebrand, it's playing Archon of Cruelty, it's playing Ugin the Spirit Dragon. It doesn't really need any of the Titans.
Hey, Emeralds are game ending. Looks like Brandon's going to bring in a couple 4 Dwarfy Voidwalkers.
I mean, even Ugin is game breaking, though. I mean, for any color deck that isn't so much control, it's still really good against control, but any permanent base deck that isn't just trying to counter your stuff, it's so backbreaking. But all of it's value based. Like a resolved Archon that sticks around for, to be able to attack is also huge too. As you can hear, the Legacy players nearby are making a bit of a ruckus. A bit of a ruckus, you heard me. You heard me. Cast your Force of Will. Go cast your Force. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, they'll hear you. Go ahead and cast your Force of Will.
It's one of our resident Legacy players there, Owen Soul. Hopefully, one of these upcoming weeks, we will have Legacy on stream. Regularly getting anywhere between 12 to 14 Legacy players.
One day we had 18. It was absurd. 5 rounds of Legacy. I personally am fond of 8 cast, or turtle cast as I like to call it.
Again, mono green Cloud Post for me.
Interesting format. Lots of money.
Unless you play mono green Cloud Post like me.
Yeah.
Even Death and Taxes has gone up in price a bit because of those Solitudes.
And Sagas. We're playing Sagas now too.
I've played Aether Vial decks for a long time. Recently decided to never play them again. Had Death and Taxes built. Good full year without touching that deck.
I only had a playset of Aether Vials to try and make Affinity work without Mox Opal. Like right after they banned Mox Opal, I was trying so hard to make the deck work, but it just was not good. I even tried Sibian Spirit Guides before they were banned, and still not good enough. Yeah, I'm personally not a fan of the riffle shuffling it myself because most of my decks have lots of foils in them, but to each their own. I mean,
I'll riffle shuffle anything.
I know, it's disgusting.
I'm happy to say I've riffle shuffled Black Lotuses.
You are truly a degenerate, Marvin.
Hey, when you have arthritis, you do everything you can to not have arthritis.
Does riffle shuffling help arthritis?
Yeah, because you don't shuffle your deck. You're gonna. It's a lot of wrist movement, a lot of muscles being tensed and untensed, and it gets painful, you know? Usually me, after 2 rounds, my hands hurt, so I just riffle shuffle.
I can't say I understand. I'm pretty active with my hands. I'm a sculptor. That sounds so terrible.
You should hear this man eat cereal.
No, this is actually going to game 2. Mono Black took it game 1. Then it took it pretty handily too. Even with all the suite of counter spells Andrew had, wasn't enough to stop Liliana into Ugin into Archon of Cruelty into like 2 Invoke Despairs, which is just absurd. Cabal Coffers, I'm glad to see being played though. I love the card. I've always liked it, but it really hasn't been significant since Type 1, Type 2. Back when Mono Black was fine. I think I had a Mono Black deck when I was younger. It's a good time.
I think the only times I played Mono Black were Pioneer and Standard.
I had Commander too, if that counts. Mono Black Crick.
Oh, I did have a Mono Black, not Yahini. What's the 4-drop? Look at the top 3 cards. The top 4 cards of player's deck. Exile and face down.
Gonti?
Yes. Got a Mono Black Gonti deck. It's late, guys. I'm an old man. Should be asleep by now.
So, why would Yawgmoth name his son after the sound a door makes if it needs to be oiled?
I believe he was speaking for Phyrexian at the time. Yawgmoth was multilingual. He spoke English and Phyrexian. Phyrexian, for those unfamiliar, sounds familiar to that rusty gate that was used to voice Godzilla back in the 50s or 60s.
Oh, yeah. So is that like Jin Kataxis is just like...
Exactly like that. That is a spot-on impression of Jin.
That is my Godzilla roar.
And then we have Thoughtseize from Brandon, and he took... I wasn't even paying attention. I was too busy worried about Godzilla.
I grew up on Godzilla movies. They're fantastic. We see a Thing in the Ice from Andrew. This is a little brew he's made for quite some time.
All right, Brandon, I believe, just drew a Fatal Push for turn. I
That's
wonder... Oh, it seems like he's going to suspend and Profane Tutor.
Yeah, I don't think he cares about that Thing in the Ice, really. That Fatal Push will answer it no matter what power and toughness it is. But if Andrew has some kind of interaction as far as a counterspell, it could slow things down a little bit. He's also got an Evoke Despair. And
yeah, here's an Unmoored Ego.
Ooh, okay, that's interesting. He's going to go ahead and name Profane Tutor. That's interesting. I mean, he's still going to get that 1 out of exile regardless. That's on suspend.
Well, you can't take the 1 from suspend because it is exile, but he's grabbing a 3 that Brandon currently has in his deck.
Maybe also trying to get some hand information. Because Brandon only has that Thoughtseize in the graveyard, and he's probably not entirely familiar with the deck. If I were him, though, I probably would have named Karn the Great Creator or Invoke Despair, maybe. Good targets. So I think he only plays 1 Ugin, 1 Grizzlebrand, 1 Archon, that sort of thing. Because he has so many tutors. I guess Profane Tutor's not a bad target. But he's going to get a trigger off that Thing in the Ice. 3 more spells to go. Brandon missed a land drop last turn. And I think Andrew did too. So both of them are... yeah, you can't actually name land cards with Unmoored Ego as far as I'm aware. Yeah, that would have been a good target too. Unmoored Ego. Yeah, it just says 4 cards with that name. It doesn't specifically say non-land. He's going to go ahead and counter that Profane Tutor. Yeah, he doesn't want him searching up anything meaningful because he can get lands off of that, and he's currently missing lands. But Dothy Voidwalker is a good follow-up.
How is he responding to it?
Can't tell. I don't know, if his last card is a counter spell, this is a good target for it. No, he's just going to go ahead and fetch in response. Probably so he doesn't get the fetch land off of it, but he doesn't really need it.
I can't say when Voidwalker was first modern legal. This shop saw a lot of it being played. Card can be quite annoying, especially if you do rely on your graveyard for it.
Yeah, come to think about it, the local meta here right after Modern Horizons 2 is like 80% black-red. And I'm not even joking. Everyone had it, except me. I was still playing Affinity. The bots will never die. He's got a Field of Ruin and a Spreading Siege, it looks like. Oh no, that's Search for Escanta. Hey, blast from the past.
Speaking of Ixalan and pirates,
Yar, as the pirates say. He's got an Inquisition that does nothing. Why did he cast that? So he's close to flipping that Search for Escanta. And for those not familiar, Search for Escanta turns into a pretty good value engine, but it has to get 7. Is it 7 cards in the graveyard?
yeah, 7 cards in the graveyard, and we'll have the same ability that is it?
Oh yeah, because
Vantress?
the Dothy Voidwalker. That's right. Good catch, chat. I forgot Dothy Voidwalker did that thing as well. So he's gonna Snapcaster again with that Unmoored Ego. Ooh, that's really, really cool. That's actually really cool. What's he gonna get with it though? He's getting that Evoke to spare. There it is. That Voidwalker is still presenting a bit of a problem. Brandon has a way to interact with that Snapcaster Mage, but
Yeah, you can Fatal Push the Mage, cast another Voidwalker.
I mean, he's still not doing terrible. Andrew's top-decking at this point. Unfortunately, Brandon would have Inquisitioned him twice. Took a lot of stuff out of his hand, and Control, as you know, needs critical mass. I mean, it doesn't matter if he needs to be blocked or not. It's still, Snapcaster's still dealing damage. It's still something. Unless he wants to save it for something like a Thing in the Ice, because he knows he's playing that. Yeah, he's just going to go ahead and cast that push. Because now that Brandon can get that Snapcaster, for whatever reason he might want it. Yeah, there's that second Dothy Voidwalker.
Comes in for 3. See what Andrew top decks here. Just a land. I could see
So
Andrew popping off that Field of Ruin.
he still does get that trigger though, doesn't he? Off that search. He could have just been that land. He doesn't need that extra land. He could have maybe searched for something a little bit more substantial. Once again, this is the final round of Friday Night Magic here at Parker Banner Kent Wayne in Cornelius, North Carolina, just north of Charlotte, North Carolina. My name is Michael Garasich, and next to me is Marvin Reina, enjoying another lovely evening of Magic live paper action.
Alright, so chooses the Field of Ruin, the Castle Lochwain. They're both going to search up basics here. I think the only thing that can honestly save Andrew.
Supreme Verdict, maybe.
Yeah, he does have I believe 2 Supreme Verdicts in the main. Any number Let me see. Prismatic Ending will buy him 1 turn.
Was that a ghost that just ran us? What was that? See, he pretty much has to draw a Supreme Verdict here, or he's just dead.
Or back-to-back removal spells.
Yeah.
And that looks like a land.
Oh, another land.
Back-to-back lands.
Unfortunately, that's just gonna do it. Andrew doesn't have anything else. Oh, he can't block either of them at this point. Yeah, I'm not sure what he can do at this point, because both of those are lethal.
He doesn't have Castle Vantress. He doesn't.
He has a Colonnade, but Colonnade can't block those Voidwalkers. Maybe he's just swinging to make a message. Send a message. Yeah, I mean, that's it.
6 and
All right, that's it. Brandon Seagraves takes it 2-0 against Andrew Horde on Esper Control. We want to go ahead and thank you all for coming out tonight. It was fun. We plan on doing this every Friday, or at least most Fridays. Maybe some other days, and who knows, maybe we can stream some 1Ks or anything larger, really.
And to answer the question in the chat, yes, these videos will be uploaded to YouTube. YouTube channel, The Guttural Response.
We'll also be doing podcasts about magic, music, and movies. So if you want to come out and check us out, follow us here, and we'll also have the other channels posted as well. Once again, I want to thank you all for coming out here tonight and watching us, and we wish you a good night.